And we're recording. Adeline, we finally made it. How are you?
I am saying, how are you? I'm so happy to be here.
Do you know what? First of all, I want to start with gratitude. Thank you for being just an amazing part of this journey for me. And having come across Kangen water, I really feel is divinely connected, but I have to let the audience know. We'll talk about that because that's the main reason we're here today, is to speak about Kangen water. But I'd like to introduce Adeline, who is just amazing. She's not only been helpful in educating me about the water, but as a friend and a new friend of mine in this journey, so caring, compassionate, and so authentic. And I cannot emphasize that enough, because when you hear her speak, you will gauge yourself that she's just a wonderful, wonderful human being. So I'm not introducing you as Adeline from Kangen Water. I'm introducing you as a superstar, a super soul rock star.
Oh my God. Alpa.
I know, you're like, what the hell was that? Like, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I wasn't. I'm like, what?
No, but you
thank you. And thank you for everything you do. I mean, just everything you do. It's just, I know it really takes something to put yourself out there and to boldly speak your truth. And it's not easy, and it comes with a price. I know there's lots of people giving you lots of love every day, but I know there's ones that don't give you so much love some days, and that can be tough.
We love them.
Just,
there are teachers.
You love them, exactly. Just hats off to you for being just kind of sticking with it, because it's quite the journey.
It is the journey, and it's the healing journey. And I'm here by design, by the design of the divine. And everything that we're enduring on our beautiful earth is for a reason, and a divine reason. And there's so many lessons we're learning, and the most important one that we are going through and enduring is that of healing in every single way, spiritually, physically, and mentally. And we've had many conversations, Adeline, about the importance of healing from every level. And when Mark, the lovely Mark, introduced me to this, who's been using Kangen water for a long time, I hadn't heard anything about it. And it didn't take me 2 minutes once I read about it, because there's so many questions that I had, but I read it within the first 5 minutes. I thought, that's for me. Now, that was just an intuitive pull for me to say, right, as many of my audience know, that I'm on this journey where I am speaking this truth, my truth, standing up about things that I'm shouting about. No one needs a reminder about that. And in the process as well, learning so much about myself and healing myself from a physical plane. And that's my, physical healing. Many know that I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia about 5 years ago. And again, I sort of reinforced that I never own any of my diseases or illnesses, because I just believe from the core of my soul that everything is in the mind. You can actually change your physiology, what's going on, all illnesses, with the power of the mind. And it's a collective of things that we need to do, but it's actually realizing the root cause of, some of the conditions that we have. But supporting that, we can also educate ourselves with the things that are toxic and the things that are playing havoc in our homes, in our lives, from every level. Now, this awakening journey has taught us so much of our mental health and our physical health, and all the chemicals that are in our products, in our foods, and of course in our water. So today I have genuinely been looking forward to it, because it's been just over a week, about 10 days since I've had the Kangen water. And I know you said you're going to start feeling a difference pretty immediately. My mum has started feeling, Perkia and Kenzo as well. And today, I don't know whether it's just the fact that we were seeing each other, but last night I had a stomach ache, really bad stomach ache. And I went on to the 9.5 level on the water, and it kind of just subsided a little bit. So I do sort of stay in that faith and say, right, using this consistently and changing our water, because fundamentally the water that we drink is so important.
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. And this is your journey, Alpa. I mean, I know you don't own your condition. You don't own this diagnosis, and I know that, but I see this as your opportunity to really help so many other people who, like you know, on the outside look like you couldn't have an ache or a pain in your body. You just look perfect and beautiful, and then, you know, you're dealing with this in the background. So just to acknowledge your vulnerability and sharing that with people, because I know that's not easy either, but in doing that, you are going to make such a huge difference to so many people by just, you know, sharing that and empowering others to go on that journey of healing and recovery. So yeah, this is it, and it's all a journey. It's
absolutely
all a journey.
And that's absolutely the fundamental intention, is that, like, it's almost like I feel like I'm sort of continuing my healing journey on a public plane, you know.
You are. That's what you're doing.
And it was this, I would never have thought about doing anything like this, because I never talked about it at all with, you know, publicly on my sort of social media, even before I came into the public, screaming about what I scream. It was something that I kept quite private. However, it's important because it's all connected. Everything is connected, and collectively we can draw upon each other's experiences. You know, what works for me may not work for someone else. And again, it is that intention. I've had a lot of companies approach me to sort of promote sort of their products, etc. But I'm very careful about what it is that I want, what my intentions are, and that is fundamentally wellness and health. Yeah, and that is just because it's personal to me and my journey. Not feeling well like 90% of the time in the day, is acutely over the last 3 months, has really got me focused on self. Yes, I do a few of these shows, and it hasn't been easy for anybody. It hasn't been easy for anybody in this journey. You know, we are at some, you know, strange times in humanity. So I think it's important that, you know, we're encouraging and educating people to a different way of doing things and a different way of consuming. Yeah.
Oh, that is. I mean, like, so, you know, when you're talking to your audience, it's education. When I'm talking to my audience, it's all education. It's just helping people and guiding them to the right place to get their information, to get the, you know, I mean, like, we all know when you jump onto Google, I mean, the conflict that you get, especially when you start looking at water and the different types of filters and systems, it is just a minefield. And most people end up doing nothing about their water because they're so bloody confused when they start to do their research. So I see just, you know, myself as being that person to share the knowledge, share the information, and what you do with that is entirely up to you. But I'm here to answer questions, support you, guide you, direct you, whatever needs to be done. But it's from a place of, yes, like, I'm just so unattached. I just to just get it out there, and
I can see that, and I can feel that, and it's a great place to start this conversation. You know, I have known about like different water filters, and I've had one as I spoke to you at home, and I've had the Brita filters, the Harvey filters, and I was actually before I got introduced to this was getting a water distiller, and then funnily enough, 2 days later, I was literally, a friend of mine who has a holistic center said she's got this big, huge cylinder type of like a water distiller, and it's several £100s, and I was going to get that. And then I recall our conversation. So let's make a start there, like, you know, the sort of the schematics of Kangen water, and why Kangen water over and above all of these filters, distillers, and fundamentally, like, you know, we say in your marketing that it's actually keeping you at a high vibrational frequency, and that was what sold me.
So many people are actually connecting with the energy of the water right now. They're just literally, as they've been drawn to it. One of the number one things I'm hearing in conversation is, yeah, I've been researching filters. Nothing was just clicking with me. Nothing was just, you know, resonating with me. And it's like just what you said there. There's something about this. It was like, oh, this is the one. Okay. But I'm going to just kind of bring that back for people who are going, God, is she cracked? What is she talking about? Connecting with the energy of the water. I'm going to explain kind of what it is and what it's not. Okay. And how it differs from filters and different types of filters. And I think this is one of the most important things I can share here today, because at the end of the day, I want people to leave here with value. If they leave here today and they go, okay, Kangen water is not for me, I want you to be empowered that at least you can have the right type of water filter. and not be struggling with that. So water filters vary. There's water filters that take out everything out of the water, like your reverse osmosis and distilled water. And then there's water filters that will say take out the nasties. I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm not going to get deep on science and on something really, really simple. If anybody wants to, you know, reach out afterwards and go a bit deeper, that's perfect. But for this, I'm going to keep it really, really simple. So there's filters that take out the nasties, but they retain the essential minerals. Now that's the key. If you're looking at water filtration, you need to retain the essential minerals. And people are obsessed with this thing called TDS. So, oh, the TDS needs to be low. No, TDS is just a measurement. It's total dissolved solids. It's just a measurement. It doesn't actually indicate whether that's a high TDS due to nasties or a high TDS due to gorgeous, rich, essential minerals. It's the one reading that highlights both. So people go, oh yeah, but I can't drink that water because it's got a high TDS. And then that's why they go for this water that's been, everything has been stripped from it. Okay, so that's the thing I'm going to say, don't go there. Keep the essential minerals. So what Kangen is then, is we have a system that has a pre-filter that takes out the nasties, it leaves the essential minerals, and then it goes to another process. Okay, yes. So this is not water filtration. Okay, so water filtration cleans your water. That's really important. Everybody at a very basic level should have a water filter, and a good quality water filter. Yeah, this is just taking it to now another level. Yeah. And really simply what happens is, so it's pre-filtered to take out the nasties, then it goes into this chamber where the process happens. Right. Now, it's really important to specify one thing here. This is a machine that's manufactured under medical equipment manufacturing license in Osaka in Japan. This has been to an incredibly high standard, and it's super important with this process that the plates that are used are medically graded, because you're now going to be charging water with electricity and water. So the quality of the plates is, like, I can't even stress that enough, super important. So to keep it really simple, what happens, it goes into this chamber and a split happens. There's these plates with a positive and negative charge. They cause a split in the water. It splits into alkaline and acid, negative and positive. And the water that you end up drinking is naturally hydrogen rich, oxygenated, highly alkalized, and it's got a negative charge. Negative in this instance is good. Negative that it's energized, that it's alive, and it's got a negative millivolt reading up to negative 800 millivolts. Right. That's what keeps your frequency up. That's keeping your cell voltage raised. That's keeping your energy high. But it's also allowing you to detox continuously. You're flooding your body with these negative ions, and you're addressing the biggest portion of who you are.
So that's why I was feeling really bonkers yesterday. You know, bonkers, like I was just like really vibing high with Kenzo. Yeah, my spirit is just on some next level in the last couple of weeks. And then even though I'm struggling on the sort of physical side, it doesn't match. It's like completely like, you know, I'm just really this excitable person, and then my body's like this. I kind of need to bring it here.
Oh, it'll come there. I can't wait to talk to you in about 3 months' time. I can't wait to talk the experience where you're at compared to, you know, on a physical plane. You know?
Yeah, no, but it does make sense. It makes sense. And then you've got the two pipes, haven't you? So, you know, you've got the different pH levels for the water, and then you've got the acidic pipe at the bottom. That's why I found that really fascinating, actually. So yes, you're explaining about the
that's the split. That's just the split. So the top hose, that's your negative ions, and the bottom hose, that's your positive, and that's your cleaning water, and the top one is your drinking water. So it's really simple. It's a very simple process, but it's like the impact on your health when you change to drinking a water with these properties, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, well, you've got sort of the various pH levels now within the machine. So if we, one of the questions I remember when we spoke, I asked you was about, like, right now, if someone doesn't have a water filter at home and they're just drinking the tap water, I remember you said, I think it was Evian water, that's probably the best mineral water at the moment in the market, because when you're drinking tap water, when the gentleman came to help install it for me, he did the chlorine test. And when we did the chlorine test on the water from the tap, I live in an area which has got high levels of chlorine in northwest London. And I was just like, oh my God, but take it to the filter. And it still was a slight, just a slightly less pink, but it was still very pink. So the tap water was at the highest level of chlorine. Yeah. And then you've got the filtered water. So we were using the filtered water for cooking and everything. So it really goes to show that, you know, we don't know, you know, the impact of the water that we drink, but it plays havoc with our health. 100%. And that level of chlorine in there, of course, it's going to interfere with people's, illnesses and different conditions. Because there's all these chemicals, really highly toxic chemicals in everything that we're doing. And then we're ingesting this. So we don't even realize this, that I know people realize tap water is not the best, but just how bad it affects your endocrine system and everything, especially for women. So for me, making this investment was something that just didn't require even like convincing, because with the way I've been feeling, of course, I just wanted to make the change. Now, when we go to the talk about a bit about the machine itself, I love the fact that it's got the different pH levels. So let's talk a bit about that. So, just for people who don't know about how the machine actually works.
Yeah, well, it actually produces 5 different types of water. So it produces your drinking water. Like that's, look, at first and foremost, getting the right drinking water, that's the most important element. But then, people often have made the investment based on that, and then they find out that it's got all these other uses, and they're like, this is great. So you have another water that it produces is a strong alkaline water. That's an 11.5 pH. That will clean all your fruit and veg. So touch of a button, you've got a strong alkaline water to take all the crap off your food. Even the difference in the taste of your food when you soak it in the strong alkaline, and then you just go and cook and prepare your food as normal for your salads, especially.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, huge difference, huge difference. And then there's a strong acidic button that produces a natural hypochlorous acid. That's your natural disinfectant or sanitizer. If you've got a sore throat or spots or mouth ulcers or anything like that, you can use that on all of these things. And then it's got a mild acidic water, which is a beauty water. Fantastic for your skin and for your hair. So you can spray that on your skin. You can use that instead of conditioner on your hair. There's so much you can do with it. But it is all just at the touch of a button. It's just touch of a button, pH level is changed, and off you go.
Yeah, no, you've got the level 7, which is just the clean water, which you drink with, which is what I drink with my medication. For example, like my medication, my herbal tablets. And actually, that's a question I wanted to ask you, like the different levels, not to have the high pH ones with your tablets. You
can have it with your supplements. Anything herbal supplements absolutely have your Kangen water with that. The pH 7, the clean water, is just literally for prescription medication.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I have to tell my mum. Yeah. So for my mum's on the levothyroxine, unfortunately, she's trying to wean her way from that. And in fact, that's what they're trying to get me to take. Because of my thyroid levels are very low, high. Sorry. But it interferes with prescriptive medicine, right?
Yeah, so it'll just release it too fast, because this water, when it's been restructured or split the way I explained, and actually the water is, and I'm sure maybe you can explain your experience, is it's much lighter. It's a very, very light water. So it's very readily absorbed. It's actually 6 times more readily absorbed than tap or bottled or filtered water, because of the restructuring of the water. So it's absorbed very quickly at a cellular level. But with medication, that would just push the medication around the body too fast. So the medication is time released, and you don't need to, do that. So just take that with regular water, because like you're being super hydrated with this water at a cellular level very, very quickly. There's no belly bloat. There's no lying around in your system. You might share maybe what you felt when you drank it first, even
well, when I saw it, so I went straight to the 9.5.
You didn't have
just that's it. I'm not gonna I remember you saying go from 7 to 8.5. I mean, you've got I soak my fruit and vegetables in there. I do that in the 9.5. I soak it in that. And it's got for 9, you can use that for cooking, and 8.5 I think it is for putting it into your kettle. But it doesn't really make a difference if you use 9.5 for everything, right?
No, you can use it for everything. I use it for everything.
Yeah, I just go, all or nothing kind of thing. I don't want to babysit. I want to go right to the top straight away. I just use that. But what I found, if we can go, talk a little bit about some of the benefits, and you touched on that, but like from an external plane, you mentioned the acidic water has benefits for for beauty, your skin. So that's the first thing I noticed for me is my scarring on my face. I had a little bit of scarring. I've had great skin more or less most of my life, but in the last sort of 6 months, there's been something that's not balanced. So I was breaking out. That's probably the stress as well. You know, this last year hasn't been easy on anyone, like I said earlier, but that's what I started noticing. And I was like, oh my God, where's this all happening? How comes? Because, you know, I've got the filtered water, I'm eating okay. And, but yeah, stress is a big cause of so many things. And, you know, we're all guilty of that. So I noticed, that's the first thing, I'll be honest, Adeline, I noticed was my skin.
Yeah.
Because I was using the water to sort of like wipe my skin, and just in my beauty regime where I just wash my face with that water. But there's so many other benefits just externally as well, like washing dishes, polishing, house cleaning.
We've no chemical cleaners in our house anymore. We literally have gone chemical free. Like, and that's reducing the chemical load on your body. Taking the chemicals off your food is reducing the chemical load on your body. You know, so it's all about bringing down that toxic chemical load on your body. Yeah, that's really it. But you touched on that about the stress on your skin, and that's a really important thing to, I suppose, help people to understand. Is stress is actually the biggest cause of over-acidity in our bodies. And then being overly acidic is the biggest cause of lifestyle conditions that there is. So it's the root cause. There's dehydration, over-acidification, inflammation, and then we age or we oxidize too fast. So we have to just go to the root cause of that. Like, and that's why I suppose a bit of a disclaimer here, like the water is no miracle cure for anything. If anybody's sitting here going, oh my God, this water sounds like it cures everything. No, it doesn't. All the water does is, because of the properties of the water, because it's highly alkalizing and because it's got that negative charge, it brings back some balance to the body. Okay. So when you balance out that over acidity and you get like a clear, like definitely you get like a mental clarity with this and better sleep straight away and more energy. And that's just because the water, the properties of the water bringing the body back into balance. But when you bring your body back into balance, now the body kind of goes, I can heal myself today. I've got some time to go out there and do a bit of healing, because most of us, our bodies are in survival mode. They're working hard to keep you alive, basically.
Absolutely.
So if you're overly acidic, your body's working really hard to balance that out in order to keep you alive.
100%. And touching on the brain fog, that's been something that I've struggled with so much. So when I'm speaking on these shows and, you know, trying to keep myself with a clear mind has been an arduous sort of state of mind for me. However, I feel that I'm divinely, you know, connected and protected. And every time I do any of my shows, in the last week especially, so again, I have felt that much more clearer. It's a slow process because it depends how toxic you are. And anyone that is interested in, you know, looking more into Kangen, purchasing it themselves, you know, I've read so many reviews about it, and there have been people who've noticed a difference immediately. You said yourself, right, that you've had people just immediately notice a very like dramatic,
and then others are slower. So like people always say to me, oh, how soon will I say, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on inside there. Only God above knows what's going on inside your body. Nobody else does. So it's just a process. And like, you know, I know we spoke recently, we're saying, look, it takes you a certain period of time to get to where you are, wherever that is. So if you're going to start reversing things, and there's a process, there's a journey to go along with that. Yes, you can feel better very quickly, but the long-term results are just from the long-term changes. I mean, like how you're going to feel in 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months being on this water. I mean, I'm excited to connect with you at that point.
Yeah,
I know it's going to be
flying. I'll have wings.
Oh, you will. You'll be levitating. You'll be levitating. You'll be just.
I'm going to get that pyramid as well. I'm going to have the water. I have my zeolite. Zeolite is great for sort of taking.
Yeah, I got that as well. It's brilliant.
Zeolite is great. I'm loving that. So it's just a process. And the thing that I thought about is that, you know, I've had so many companies approach me to sort of recommend their products and everything, and I just said, look, I have to buy it myself, or I have to see it myself first, because I don't want to be recommending anything just for the sake of it. And having come onto sort of the public arena the way in which I have, without realizing how the hell did I get here, it's just been a natural, authentic journey, and this has been divinely led to me. 100% believe that. And what we can just, going back to what we were saying just before, is that when we're making the changes, also spiritually, mentally, physically, and collectively doing everything without the attachment to just one thing. And that's what I've gone into with this. Like, well, I know the benefits. I've read up about the benefits. I realized that by drinking the chlorinated water, or even within the filter and in our cooking, it's going to exacerbate some of the difficulties and challenges that I have. So that was the decision. So if I can do the process of elimination, I've got rid of all toxic chemicals in our house, like that's in products, especially for Kenzo, right? Kenzo was very well last year for, animals feel things too, and he's on the water. He's on.
I say he's enjoying the water. He should be lapping it up. He should be lapping it. Yeah.
I mean, he needs it. Like even if there's a little bit of dust in it, he won't drink it. He needs clean water like every single time. My dog is just high maintenance, honestly. He looked at me the other day because I forgot to put his omega oil on his food. He's just like, "What are you doing, Mum?" Like,
oh, stop it! You're so funny.
Oh, I'm telling you, Kenzo is a real character. He thinks he's human. The vet even said that. I think your dog thinks he's human, but he's just a bundle of joy. And he's been a lot more perkier as well. But again, it's good to know for people as well that this is beneficial for everyone.
Well, that's what I say. I mean, like if you take on something like, I'm not knocking supplements, we all take our supplements in our family as well. But if you take on something like, if you make a change, sometimes you stick with it for a while, and then you kind of maybe move on to something else, and then you drop that, and then you move on to something else, and then you go, God, what was that I was doing? Like that worked. And there's a really good friend of mine, and he's a great saying. He said, it works so well, I stopped doing it. And we do that. We try different things, and we ebb and we flow, and then that might just be for us, and might be maybe for our partner or our children or the granny or the mom or whoever else is there. But with this, it's just for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's water, it's the basics, it's the foundation, and it's just for everybody. And that's what I love about it. It's a real simple change that just everybody automatically benefits from without much effort, without much any extra thinking or doing, or it's just there.
Yeah. And if we think about it, like as much as it is a shame that our government is doing this to us, really inadvertently, these companies that are actually putting all these toxic substances in our water, it's such a shame that we don't have access to clean water. This is a solution. And is this going to change anytime soon in the next 3-4 years? I don't think so. So what do? Do we get sicker? Do we allow ourselves to, get sicker, or do we actually take our health, our mental well-being in our own hands?
And take it into our own hands. It's just, that's been highlighted now more than ever. I mean, I don't know if I said this to you, I'm sure I did, but just for your audience, I used to own a water filtration company. So this has been my background forever and ever and ever. And like water has been a problem for a really long time. In parts of Ireland here where we were, I'm sure in the UK it was probably the same. There's this bug called cryptosporidium, okay? And it was making people really, really sick. People were being hospitalized with this bug in the water. It was really bad in Galway and Roscommon, like different pockets of the country had it really, really bad. And we used to go and would say advertise in those areas. We used, I'm talking 20 years ago, and we used to go and say do stalls there or put things in the newspaper or the radio, and nobody would do anything. Now, when I tell you, you could fix this problem for 300 euros at the time, or pounds, whatever it was at the time. It wasn't expensive, but the attitude was, oh no, they'll fix it. We'll wait for them to do it. And I'm here like, but it's your health. This is your family. Your children are showering and washing in this, brushing their teeth in this. You're on a boil water notice. You've actually been told your water is unfit for human consumption, and yet people won't take an action. I just always found that remarkable. But what I got to see was to be, I suppose, fast forward a few years. You can only ever join the dots together looking back, I always say. I can see now that it was an education thing. It was just a lack of understanding. So in my world, it was very simple. Oh, you just stick this on your water and it's really simple and that's gone. But for somebody else, that was a huge, oh, can I trust them? Is this the right thing to do? And I don't understand this. So it was a lack of knowledge.
This is it. And this is where it's kind of evident of where we are in humanity now. Ignorance is a choice now. We are privy to information at our fingertips. And it's just having the impetus to educate yourself or be in that sort of numbed out state and just accept the status quo, accept what the government throw at us, accept what they say about our health and dictate to us about how we feel. And this is where we give our power away. This is where we lose our sovereignty. And this movement right now where we are is pivotal for humanity. We are taking and reclaiming our sovereignty back. That is with our health. That is with our mindsets. That's with our freedom. That is actually raising our voices for things that are significant, that's going to make the change. And I say this, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world. I can put up fancy quotes on Instagram, and I do love a quote, mind you. I love lovely quotes. That's what I used to put up on my Instagram all the time. But if we are not being that change, yeah, and it doesn't matter when and where or how you do it, but if you're making that change from within and starting then to sort of connect all the pieces, yeah, and doing the work, that's actually when the universe starts to
do. It's the doing. It's, you know,
doing.
To quote the, I mean, I'm a big fan of, if you've ever heard of Peter Sage. I love Peter Sage. And he always, and he quotes this, one of his famous quotes, knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing, you know, so like knowing makes no difference. So many people just pile extra knowledge on themselves and you know, they sound really smart, maybe at a, you know, in a conversation, whatever, but you look at them and they go, but you're not doing, you're not taking the actions that you need to make the change and to impact that change. Absolutely. So knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. You know, find out, as you said, do your research, find out, and then take an action.
Yeah, and no one's putting a gun to anyone's head. No. You just give somebody the information, and guess what? We live our life and we're governed by the choices that we make. You can listen to something and you can act upon it, which we say in Sanskrit dharma. You're doing your dharma action, right action. Sorry, no, not necessarily, but yeah, we're making the right action for our body. That's what I mean. Yeah. And that is the right action, you know, because if we are going to know that the water, for example, in this instance, in context to what we're talking about, is not good for us, but we're continuing to just say, okay, yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really affect me. I don't drink that much water anyway. I have a friend that whenever we go for dinner, I'm really like a bit of like, I'm not drinking tap water. I will have the bottle of Evian water. I'll just order that. Not because I'm a snob. It's just I don't want to drink chlorinated water. And she always goes, no, it's okay. I don't want that. I'll have tap water. Tap water's fine. You know? I just like,
it's like, it's all the same. It's all the same.
Her response is in your head. Now, this is a very well-educated woman, very, very studied up to her PhD. And, you know, this is very indicative of where people are at mentally about, like, not just what's going on geopolitically, but where people are at there in their mindsets. You know, it's that stubbornness, that resistance to actually go somewhere which doesn't sit within their comfort zones. But that's fine. We cannot control people and what they do. We can do and control what we do for ourselves. And that's what I think is important. It's the decisions that we make. So yeah, I think that this was a great decision that I made. I definitely don't regret it. And you're speaking about this other water filter back then. Now, Kangen water is known not to be cheap, and it isn't. Yeah. So let's talk about the costs. You know,
I mean, I love to address
I want my nice receipt here. I've just just covered my address because I don't want any psychopaths coming to my door.
I love to address this because, you know, it's like, I'm so proud of this product and what it does, and I know the standard that it's built to. So if people say it's expensive, the first thing I say is, well, in comparison to what? Like, first, what are you benchmarking it against? Okay. And again, just to go back and say, look, if this is not for somebody, come and talk to me. I'll give you a couple of names, really good filters, 300, 400, 500 euros that you can go and have clean water with. This is not about selling at all costs. It's not what I do. I said to you when you got this first and we were talking, I said, look, the most important thing for me right now is that Alpa gets results. Alpa feels better. It's about Alpa first.
And I have to add to that, sorry to jump in before you finish off this lovely lady called Mary Herbert. Sorry if I've got your surname wrong, Mary. She wrote into me because I had sent a letter out to, like a newsletter to my subscribers, and I don't send many out. It was just sort of talking about the fibromyalgia and that I will be introducing products that will help people, elevate people, that are raising their sort of frequency, energy, and in alignment with all of that. You know, I've stepped away from the corporate world, and this is a new world for me. And now I'm sort of building a new life, as it were, on this page. But she she said to me, she just goes, oh, Alpa, please, like, you know, let me know how it is. Can you give me more information? And I said, just let me use it first. Yeah. And let me use it. It's 2 weeks in now. I promise you I'll get back to you, because obviously you and I are speaking about it, and I need to sort of see. And then she goes, oh, you know, you should sort of start distributing it. And I was like, look, I'm not the distributor, but I will be recommending it and, you know, speaking to Adeline. So yeah, let's speak about the costs.
Yeah, we speak about the cost. And we also speak about, I mean, well, I might just park that for a second. My brain runs ahead of me sometimes.
It's like me.
The brain has gone way over there. I'm like, oh, come back. Yes, look, the machines range from, obviously depends where you are in the world watching this, like there's different price points in different regions. This is a Japanese technology. So we start with that aspect. So it's made in Japan. It's an OEM, which is an original equipment manufacturer. Every single component made in the one facility in Osaka in Japan. Like that's huge regards to any product right now, that everything is, you know, usually bits are coming in from everywhere and they're on an assembly line and put together and off you go. Built under medical equipment license, approved by the Japanese Ministry of Health, used in Japanese hospitals, approved by something like 6,500 doctors in Japan. So this is a very high standard, high ticket item. They do in euros, they range in price from 2,700 euros up to 3,660 euros, plus the VAT. Your situation has changed there now, but you know, you don't pay your VAT now, and you pay that as it comes in.
Yeah.
And there's payment plans, which is really great. And again, this is not payment plans from a bank or a financial institution. And Nagic, the company themselves, who have 23, so Germany is our distribution center. There's also offices in France and in Italy and in Portugal, and then obviously all over the world after that. But they what was my thing? Oh, the payment plans. Yeah. So it's in-house. It's in-house. It's not like there's no interest, or there's a 10 euros per month charge. So it's purely designed to make it affordable for everyone, with a deposit and a monthly payment.
Yeah.
So
everyone, you know,
like you got it on the payment plan. Like you lost your bloody job. You had to get.
I know, and you know, my audience know this. And the thing is, it's been the best thing that's happened to me. I mean, I didn't sit there. I just said, right, universe, show me the way. And you know, slowly, obviously now it's my sort of 3rd month of not having you know, a regular job or an income at all, but it doesn't make me, I'm not fearful of it. And the universe is just bringing me things that are in alignment and congruent with what I'm about, with what I need to be doing, what I need to be doing in my purpose now. And I'm loving the journey, and I'm coming across stuff like this. So yeah, I just say that the payment plan, obviously, that I'm on, it does help, because obviously I'm not working right now, and I want to, until I find my wings again, and I have, you know, it's
this is going to support you as well, but this is going to support you too. I want to give a shout out to somebody. Actually, she's a new customer. Her machine hasn't even arrived yet up in Scotland, and I spoke to her this morning because she's having problems with her deliveries and or with the courier company, and I was in the middle of putting on my makeup, and she sent a text through, said, oh lovely, would it be okay to have a quick chat? I said, of course it is. And talk about a guardian angel been sent to you. And I was telling her that I was coming on. She's very, you know, she follows you as well, and I was telling her I was coming on to talk to you, and we ended up having the most beautiful conversation. So Nikki Anderson up in Scotland, I wanted to say a massive hi to you, because she actually was such a support this morning, because I won't lie, I was panicking a bit. Not about me. I don't give a monkeys about me. I thought, I really want to support Alpa. Alpa's out here doing this amazing job. Okay. Her life has turned upside down in the last year. She's now been vulnerable about, you know, the condition that she's dealing with. Your income is gone, you know, and this is something I know you're aligned with. I know I'm aligned with. And this, as you said, this is a divine connection completely. But what I love about this, I call this sovereignty through water. That's what it is. Yeah. This is the most amazing company. The whole ethos of this company is change your water, change your life. That's their tagline.
Yeah,
their tagline.
Their tagline, I just want to read that out. It just says, what you sent me yesterday is beautiful. Yeah. And then we'll continue with the payment plan. But it says, as a conscious being, our priority is to maintain high vibrational frequency, and drinking Kangen water will help keep your vibration high naturally. Change your water, change your vibration. Now, everyone that's following me, I'm always saying vibe high, vibe high. And it's like, I've kind of manifested this, like, okay, here's how you can vibe high. And it says Kangen water facilitates a deeper connection with our inner being. So many people write into me and say, you know, Alpa, how do you go inside? Well, there's no manual for this. We don't know. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's truth internally is different. So I love this. So yeah, facilitates a deeper connection with our inner being, our higher self, because we've been so calcified in our pineal gland with the fluoridated water, with the fluoride and the chlorine and everything that they have in the water is insane. This water is not only free of impurities and incredibly hydrating, it's also energetically alive. I love that because of the way it's processed with electricity. I mean, it's just like you turn into a fire.
Yeah.
You'll just turn into a firecracker after drinking it. Trust me. You don't, then I'll say, come and talk to me. I promise you will. So when you tune into the energy of Kangen water, you'll find that its living frequency promotes physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health. That's everything that we've spoken about. And again, you know, just so I know I don't want to not speak about the price, but this is so in line with what this movement is about. And I can't emphasize it enough, you know? So yeah, like I have
movement. And like, and like I've been working with this product for 6 years now, and it's just been this journey of really owning who you are. And again, my truth within this, because like you get people, you know, they'll say, oh, you're only doing this, and they think, oh, everything's about the money. It's not actually. This is, the money follows when you do the right thing.
Yeah.
You speak your truth, the money follows. We are sharing about a product that makes a profound difference in people's lives. I'm representing a company whose corporate philosophy is
beautiful,
but it's sharing true health, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances. Any one of those areas is broken down, your life doesn't work. And financial ones, I mean, what is one of the biggest things that causes the most stress in relationships and homes and marriages is actually a financial breakdown. Okay. Now, when you find something, and that's why I say sovereignty through water, that you can share, that makes a difference in the world, and that your driving force is making the difference. Your driving force is contribution on whatever level that is. So I see my level of contribution, you know, way more smaller than yours. So you've got this big audience, you're speaking to your people, you are standing out there boldly, sharing what you share, and making a difference. So if I can kind of come in the background and, you know, assist you, and like, as you say, you're not going to be a distributor, you're busy doing what you're doing, I will call you a referral partner. So you're somebody that's just, you know, you're another vessel to reach more people.
Yeah, well, this is the lady Mary, so I didn't finish that. She's the one who said, oh, Alpa, you know, please let me know how it is. And I said, Mary, look, let me try it first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like us, you know, we were going to do a video before it came, but I was like, it's just not, it's pointless. It's been 2 weeks since I've had it. And like I said, you know, there's a lot more mental clarity. It's just the physical pain. I think that physical pain's been there for over 25 years, right? You know, to be specific, but the mental clarity is there, improving every single day, for sure. And she said, you know, and, you know, you should like recommend this product. And I said, Mary, I will recommend it. And she goes, you should get like, you know, a referral. So that is it, guys. I will get a referral fee for this.
We'll get a referral fee. But as I say to everybody, look, I mean, I'm going to just take this over from you, Alpa, because if I say to everybody, you are, number one, you're doing something for yourself, for you, for your family, for your health and well-being. And then on the back of that, you're supporting Alpa. And on the back of that, you're supporting me. So, I mean, it's actually just, and then you can move on and you can share it with people and you can support them in their lives. This is just such a beautiful movement. And as I say, money is just an exchange of energy. What you put out, you get back. That's what my thing is. It's 100%. Not money will never get me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
The drive for money will never. The drive for growth and contribution will get me out of bed all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
And I want to add to that because that's so powerful. I spoke about this in a show, and it's this lack-based mentality or an impoverished-based mentality that keeps us from abundance. So when you are so connected with the universal truth, your inner truth, abundance is every single person's birthright. But what's happened is it's been stolen from us at every level. So this kind of low vibrational thinking has just permeated humanity for thousands of years, where we are in a lack-based mentality. So anybody else, you know, doing well or being in their abundant, their high vibrational sovereign beings, sometimes there's just this disparity where it's that lack-based mentality that can get you to kind of condemn a person. So I'll give you an example. This is happening a lot in the truth movement, where people are begrudging people for recommending like these affiliate things to do with like health. And I know,
how can you begrudge somebody for that? Why?
I mean, you see it, and but again, it's a testament to where people are at. Yeah. And this is nothing personal, but this is just a matter of fact conversation. It's just where they are at with their mentality. And is it really, it's the programming. Yeah, it's this sort of conceited programming that's so subliminal that we don't even realize doing it. See, it's very important when we talk vibe high, there is so many layers to that. Wish other people well, wish people, your neighbor, your friends, your family, like see the love in your heart for them is wanting them to do well, wanting them the best for them, as well as the best for yourself. And we deny ourselves this, therefore we deny it inadvertently to others. So this lack-based mentality, you know, is something that's people are learning now, that's changing. And when you come out of that, you start seeing that you're balancing and that leveling up, because you're not in a polarized way of being. You're actually synthesizing and synchronizing. My famous way of just talking is the two polarities, and neutralizing all these negative charges that you say. Think about what we've got in the machine. It's got a negative and a positive charge. It needs both, right?
Needs both, yeah. We need both to exist. Yeah.
What does a battery need to work? It has the plus and the minus at the moment, right? So it's that duality that we live in. Yeah, there's the dark and the good in all of us. There's a dark side. There's our shadow self that we have.
We all have our stuff to break through, Alpa. We all have our stuff to get through, and I mean, it's about supporting people in that. We had our own journey around lack and money and mindset to break through. You know, my husband works in the business as well. The two of us are in this together. We're on this journey together. People thought we were cracked. They thought we were nuts doing this a few years ago, and we had 3 kids, and you're going to do what? You're going to sell these expensive water filters? That's all we heard. We were here, no. So there's so much more than that. It is a movement. I mean, the connection you have with people. I mean, sometimes when you meet somebody and they take on this water, it might be your first connection with them, but next thing, that's the start of their journey. As you say, when you start to raise somebody's frequency or their vibration, it's amazing what else opens up for them. And it just is this connection with people. And then it was about 2 years ago, I think we kind of went, who are we? Like, who are we in this? Like, what is it? Because this is not about selling machines. It's so much more. Like, the water is the initial kind of entry point, and people get that, and then it just evolves. I'm kind of digressing a little bit, but I really want to share.
No, I love it.
But I really want to share what we created about who we are. We said we are distributors of God's blessings and first responders to those in need. That's how we see this as an Ajik is a vessel or a vehicle, an Ajik being the Japanese company, to allow us to do that. So it's a totally divine that we're here today. This is completely it's all thanks to Mark. 3 years ago, we met him at a little fair in the Midlands in Ireland, a little Christmas fair. That was the connection back in December 17.
Yeah, Mark is an instrumental in this. Like, you know, he comes across some really good stuff, and he's been a real good friend and a confident, and just, he cracks me up, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, we're both nuts, and you know, we don't even say hello anymore. I just usually just sing a song to him, and then he'll you know, sing along, and we just vibe high. And he said, my children love it, and he said, I've had it for 3 years. And then you know, and then he goes, you know what, like, we need to recommend this to people, like, you know, and then he says, well, you know, he told me about the whole thing, and then I said, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. And, like, you know, after doing my research, and I've had 3 people from my email list. I just mentioned it. I just touched on it. Said, I will be, because at the time when I sent that email out, I was, I think we just had our first chat, and I didn't know enough. And so I just went and said, look, you know, this sounds really good, because I was just like, my fibromyalgia pain is just killing me, and I just feel nuts. It was so funny at that time. And look, you know, about a month and a half later, when was it? We spoke in the end of,
I don't even know time. I've lost all connection.
Yeah, it was Christmas time. So yeah, no, and it's good. So just finishing off that subject about price. So it's 3,000.
Yeah, from 2,700 up to 3,660. That's the
right
bracket. So there's a few machines in there, and
I got the bee's knees, right?
So you got the top one, but like, I'll be honest, it's the one. Well, it's what we sell the most of, because
what I'll do is, you know what, I'm just going to pause this, and then I'm going to take it over to the machine. So just hang on there, everyone. Not that they're going to know this difference. It's all going to be paused. 1 second. Start. Okay, so there's my mom's little Ganesh thing in the background, swinging on a little swing. Right, so here's the water, and it is comes. I love the fact that it speaks to you.
Are you
tongue and water. Why can't it say, hey, have a good day?
It should do. Are we back? Are we back live or no?
Yeah, we're back. Here we go. We're back. Yeah, sorry.
No, because I was recording my side as well, so I'm going to just start there too. Hang on.
Yeah.
Resume. There we go. There we go.
So I've got this tap here. It's got the 3 different levels on each side. So it starts off at the 2.5 washing hands, and the pH 6, pH 7, pH 8, and it's got a nice little teacup there to just say you can use it for tea. And then the little pan for 9, and now I've just gone for the, like, it's like having a double vodka. I'm having like the, you know, this creme de la creme of the pH levels. And yeah, this is the machine. I have it, obviously I've got a cardboard at the back so that the sun doesn't you know, go to it. So that's the machine, my friends. And like I said, it cleans itself as well in this auto filter thing that it's got, and it just tells you going through cleaning. Keeps me company.
She's great company as well. She's and for anybody out there who's thinking, oh my God, I couldn't handle her talking to me, you can turn her off as well. I call her Mrs. Kangan. You can turn her off.
I don't have Siri, and I just think, oh, good morning, Kangan. Can you just ask them? Could you ask them? Could you ask them in Japan just to say good, so that we could program it?
Say good morning. Good morning.
I hope you have a nice Kangan water day.
Here you go.
Here we go.
High vibe water day.
High vibe waters, everyone. Just so you can see it's here, and then you can just see. There you go. There's my little monks there on the side. While we're at it, hold on one second. I'm going to pause it again. And just thought it just said to me, it's powering off. It's so polite. Very polite.
Oh, she's very polite, isn't she? She goes, powering.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry if you guys didn't hear that very well. I was making really rubbish jokes as well, but.
Yeah, so I don't know if we know where, but the
one thing you've got it in the background there, so that's actually
there's 2 of them. There's 2 out of the way, so that's just 2 different models there as well. And yeah, we have a store in just outside Mullingar.
Yeah. So look, wrapping up, everyone can see it. You've heard all the benefits. I mean, look, it's a beast of a machine that I have, but you said it starts at 2,700. I've got the one for 3,800, and how much was it? 3,000.
3660, and then you had your shipping and then your payment plan thing. So 3660 and 3717, and then you went with the payment plan. So there'll be another.
Yeah, 3660. Yeah, then you've got the shipping and etc. Yeah, that's it. So, and then it's done in the installments. So it's not actually. It seems quite a lot, and it is expensive. You know, that is that. But you know, it's a good product. And I've bought it, and I want to recommend it. And if you like it, you like it. If there is a need for you to have it, by all means, I'm going to have a link at the bottom of the description box here where you can speak straight. So how's it going to work? It's going to
work is, just jump into the link, and then it says, look, request more information. I will kind of, ask you for what kind of level of information or what kind of information you want. Because I don't want, this has to be personal for me. I'm not into just like blasting things out. This has to be personal. It has to be, this is a high ticket item. It's a big investment. I want to connect with you personally. Now, look, if you want to just message out and say, I want one, absolutely. I'll do that with you.
I would have been one of those, I got sold from Mark, but then I like speaking to you. We barely talked about the machine.
Just I want one. That's fine. If you just want one, that's fine. If you do that, my phone number will just drop me a quick text or a telegram or whatever there. Other than that, drop me a quick email and say, look, I want more information. I've got some general information. I can be very specific about the information or be very general. And then you can book a Zoom or a call as well. There's a little link in there that you can book a half an hour, either Zoom call or a phone call. Again, whatever you're comfortable with. It's about serving you. So whatever you're comfortable with doing. If you want to read about it first, you want to talk about it first, whatever. And we'll go through your questions. And
I mean, look, I read a lot about it, but that's how I made the decision. And then it was just like, right, I get it. And especially where I am personally in my own journey. So, wherever you are, if you just want to message Adeline and just, inquire a bit more about it, email her. The details will be through my link. Is there anything else that's missing?
Yeah, no, I don't. Something's really coming up for me, and I've never actually even really kind of gone into this before, but I really feel strongly about addressing this now. It's coming up strong for me. You go on to Google, and your audience will understand this, and you start researching this, and it's going to start, the first thing that's going to come up is going to say that, Kangen water machines are expensive because people get paid. I'm very sorry. Name me a product where people don't get paid for a start. Anyways, people get paid with every product in the world. This is not the truth, guys. I'm just saying, just don't.
Oh yes. This is a good point. Thank you for raising that.
And just let the negativity hit you straight away, if that's what you mean. Some people go in and they never hit that. I think it depends where you're at. But one of the things, there's a few things that come up. People say, oh, it's more expensive because. No, this is not the truth. The truth is that there's cheaper ionizers on the market. You can buy them for 800 quid less, 1,000 euros less. They are not made under medical equipment license. They come off an assembly line. There's about 25 different brands come off the one assembly line. Don't shoot me, anybody, if that's not correct. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 30, I don't know. But 25 is a number I heard mentioned. The quality is not there. The margin, yes, the products are cheaper, but their margin is phenomenally higher. So they come along saying that Enagic products are expensive because, you know, referral partners or distributors get paid. Their margin is actually 580+% on their products. Their cost of manufacturing is substantially lower than our cost of manufacturing. So Enagic are very, I'm not going to go into the numbers on that now, but Enagic are very, very open about their cost of manufacturing and the money that they give out for marketing. And I love that. This company are so ethical. Everything is just there. So I'm just saying, don't let that kind of negativity kind of go, oh, well, God, I'm going to buy a cheaper one because
well, look, you know, that's going to happen anyway. You know, so I take sort of like with the movement and the things that I speak about, you know, they say 90 to 98%, to be fair. People are very positive about what I might, and myself and other truthers speak about. And it's very sort of parallel to that. There's going to be, well, of course, it's about water. The big companies are going to go and put the shills there and give you the negativity about it because they don't want companies like yourselves to come out and be promoted. And there's going to be the negative press about it. Look, guys, you know, I'm very honest, open, raw, real, and, you know, no one puts a gun to anybody's head and say, you know, I don't need to convince you. You're the master of your own life, and you can decide, you know, if this is something for you, and if it isn't, that's great as well. You know, you know about it. And thank you.
Yeah, if it resonates with you, reach out. If it doesn't, that's okay.
Yeah, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Unfortunately, in this, it's still, let's be sort of gentle here, that as an observer, Adeline, I've noticed that this kind of sort of responses, or that level of reciprocity, is churned out because of the way we've been living and used to, you know, with that sort of low vibrational thinking, you know, that again comes from lack-based mentality. Look at this, you know, some of the people are being accused of being frauds. And look, we've all come on this journey. This is a year now, a year in, 20th of March 2020. It was the 18th, I think, as I recall. And hasn't everyone's lives significantly changed in whatever way? You know, and things are not normal. And look, this has ushered us into different directions. Some people have lost their jobs, you know, and, you know, fallen into speaking like myself into things about things like this. Change is the law of the universe. Yeah. Change is the law, the universal law of the universe. And it's how we embrace these changes. And what we do is, guess what? We're all governed by those choices ourselves. So just on a final thought, Adeline, is there anything you want to add? And I'm so grateful to you.
No, there really isn't. I mean, as you say, we're not out here to convince anybody. This is purely about sharing some information. And I just want to say thank you so much for, well, I suppose just, you know, taking this on yourself. And I know it's going to make a huge difference to you. And from day one, I've said that that's the most important thing here, is that you get your results. And just thank you for sharing me with your audience. I mean, I don't take that lightly either. I really appreciate that. And I very, very
my audience are lovely. You know, they are a lovely bunch. They're always very supportive and have nothing but sweet things to say. And, you know, we don't always agree on things, but they so beautifully sort of convey their differences of opinion. Some, like I said, some people have very strong views, and that's okay. It's just, again, like the choices that we make. So everyone, for more information, the link's going to be in the description below, and any other questions, just email me. I will be putting a email a broadcast soon as well, and this will be up in the next day or so. So Adeline, thank you very much. I've really enjoyed this. And I just have to say, one of the things, just on a final note, I promise it's a final note.
Is there ever going to be a final note with us too?
Yeah, because I do this a lot, you know, and my friend goes like, you had about 5 final notes, right? But you know, it's just, I have to sort of, I keep it to an hour because it keeps people interested. Is that my, like, that clarity, that anxiety feeling about, you know, God, I'm feeling a bit brain foggy has lifted in the last two days. You know, I can't say the pain's gone, because it's just like years and years. But the brain fog and the clarity and that sort of anxious feeling of having that brain fog, you know, is lifting. And I definitely thank the water and everything I'm doing myself. Guys, remember to thank yourself. Thank yourself. Feel grateful for yourself for, you know, the steps that you make to make those changes in your life. We are going through some amazing times if we have the lenses to see it. So on that final note, I bid everyone goodbye, and any questions, like I said, just message me directly.
Or click on that link and message me.
Click on that link.
I can answer the questions. That'll save you doing that.
Actually, that link.
You'd be bombarded with water questions. You'd be like, what?
Okay, rephrase. The link is going to put you through straight to Adeline. I mean, I did want to help, but probably will be just pointing you back to Adeline. All right, thank you very much, and thank you everyone for watching. Thank you. Bye-bye.